I found an envelope in my desk the other day. It had already been opened. Inside there was a square of paper with notes and a handwritten letter. And this is what it said. 38 Ontario Road, Floral Park, New York, 11001. August 16th, 2016. Sir, I've been trying to reach my friend, Colonel Ted Mosh, a retired political science professor at UTM. Ted is a longtime fellow reserve officer, originally from Wisconsin, who's been a longtime supporter of Army ROTC in Martin. Like myself, Ted is a bachelor who lives alone. Have you been in recent contact with him? Thank you in advance for your help. Sincerely, Ron Wildick. After reading the letter, I turned my attention to the paper square. There's a list of notes that the original recipient of the letter had written as he tracked down information. It started with a simple Google search where the person had found a video of him lecturing, and that he had indeed served as a political science professor from 1996 to 2002, while being highly decorated in the U.S. Army Reserve. A boxed off section indicates that the person contacted the political science department here at the school. An administrative assistant named Tenna Benyam was able to provide some information, albeit some disheartening information. Rehab Center, Van Ayer. The rehab center then directed the person to the Greenbrier Meadows assisted living facility just down the road from the school. I did a quick search, and the first thing I found was a piece from the university about Ted Mosh's passing. It said that he died July 3rd of 2018, a little less than 2 years after this letter was sent. The timing of the letter with the timing of the article for me gives me some hope that the two friends were able to reunite, or at the very least contact each other. While I like to think that this story hopefully ends with some form of geriatric rendezvous, it still makes me kind of sad. The idea that you would just send a letter blindly to the university that he worked at 15 years prior, it seems just like a last option for me. Obviously, the person sending the letter was in their late 70s and therefore not the most tech savvy, but the ease at which the recipient of the letter was able to find that information that would have alleviated so much anxiety from the writer, that it's sad to think about. All it took was a Google search and a few phone calls, and he got all the information on him that he needed in order to contact him, or at least find out where he was. And if the writer of the letter or Colonel Mosh both hadn't been bachelors who lived alone, maybe there could have been some other form of communication, or maybe their daughter could have helped him out, or a younger coworker or something. I think about how long he must have gone unable to reach him via letters or phone calls before he decided to write the university, or maybe several places that might have had the information. And it makes me think about my own life. Honestly, not that much different. Living alone in an apartment in a university far away from all of my friends that are all living in different states. As I get older, it's harder and harder to stay in touch with people that are very important to me. I might send them stupid little pictures and stuff on social media almost daily, but sometimes it's still weeks or months before I actually have an actual conversation with the person. I haven't seen my best friends from college in 4 or 5 years now. If I have the time to go see someone, they don't have the time. And if they have time, I don't have time. And that's not even including the logistics of getting there, either driving 12 plus hours across multiple time zones, or the logistics that come with scheduling flights and getting rides and all that other stuff. It makes it seemingly impossible to see people that are busy with their own lives, meanwhile I'm trying to balance my own. That writer very well could be me or you in the future, maybe not in that exact situation, but similar motivations and purposes. To keep myself from not being able to sleep tonight filled with existential dread from a letter I found on my desk, I am going to hopefully end this on a somewhat positive note though. There is a man in New York who, after not hearing from his friend for such a long time, put in the effort and the work to physically just go send a letter to the last place that might have known about him. He still went through all of that effort just to reconnect with his friend who he was worried about. Of course, them being in their advanced age, he likely assumed the worst, but looking at the dates on the letter and the dates of the obituary, he had a good window to say bye to his friend. And I like to think that he did, and that Colonel Mosh passed knowing that he had some friends that really cared about him.